Started. My name is Joyce Raimondo, and I am the education coordinator at the Pollock-Krasner House and Study Center in East Hampton, New York. And as most of you know, we're a national landmark. We're the home of the famous abstract artists. And during this Zoom series called Methods and Materials, we're learning some of the basics of how to handle materials so that you can use it for your own expression. Okay, so we have with us today our special guest, Ursula Thomas, and Ursula is going to present Chinese brush painting. And I hope that you will learn some basic techniques today, and maybe it will spark a further interest in Chinese brush painting. And then you can use some of these techniques. You don't necessarily have to do Chinese brush painting, traditional. You can use them also to do pen and ink and some of the aspects Ursula is going to cover. You'll see how it relates to watercolor as well. So that being said, I'd like to tell you a little bit about Ursula Thomas. Ursula Thomas is a worldwide traveler. She has visited over 50 countries, well over 50 countries. And we're very fortunate she made her home in the Springs, East Hampton, pretty close to where Pollock and Krasner lived. Ursula had studied Chinese brush painting for 20 years in various schools in New York City, among them the China Institute. So let's give Ursula a nice Zoom welcome. Welcome, Ursula.
Thank you very much.
So what we're going to do to start is I'm going to do a little screen share, and Ursula is going to show her work. And then she's going to show you in real time some of the materials, some of the tools, and also how to use those tools. So I can't wait because I never studied Chinese brush painting. So we'll learn together. All of these paintings are by Ursula.
This painting is done with only ink, but with the different shades of ink. So you pour your ink into a dish, and then you have a lotus dish, and then you keep thinning the ink down, because it should have a contrast from dark to very light and outlines, and that's what this is, to show the difference between a color painting, but you can get the same effect just with ink.
And what is that little red stamp?
That little red stamp is my name in Chinese, which I had made in China. Chinese artists, they don't sign their paintings usually. You could find 3, 4 different stamps on them. Each stamp means something different.
Yeah. And that's, of course, for the traditional Chinese painting.
Right. This is a very simple, I did it combined color with the ink, and it's very simple.
Now, in this case, Eileen, we'll take questions later. In this particular case, it's an image of birds and tree branches. So where do you get that image from?
Just out of memory or looking out my window.
But you're not actually looking at the window while you're painting.
No. No.
So it's from memory and imagination.
Right, from memory. And that's what most Chinese artists do, like masters. They paint from memory. They go and meditate in nature, watching birds and stuff. And then they go home and meditate and put it down on paper, what they saw.
And tell us about, just technically, this one has color. So how did you get that color?
Well, that's a regular transparent watercolors.
And did you put the black down first and then apply the color?
Yes. Yes.
Did you plan it out in advance?
No.
So
I
it just sort of
did it out of memory,
So in that sense, it's a little similar to Pollock and Krasner, although totally different in the sense that one mark sort of led to the next, you would say?
Right. Yeah.
So you don't have a pre-planned sketch in mind?
No. First thing I learned when I started Chinese brush painting, we did bamboo stalks, and we made a lot of copies. New paper, new piece of paper, new piece of paper. And then you can combine it with the top That's the leaves of the bamboo. But like most things in Chinese brush painting, you don't see the whole picture as such,
Hmm.
like a photograph, like in Western painting. Western painting, we paint what we see, right? And Chinese is more fantasy, what you have in the memory.
Hmm.
And then I added these cherry blossoms, which is very traditional.
Hmm. Now, tell us about with the bamboo painting, why do you have to paint that over and over again when you're just starting out? What's the
Well, the
purpose?
the purpose is to get it right.
But
Yeah.
what skill are you learning
Bamboo that
specifically?
it actually looks like bamboo,
Hmm.
you know.
And I
That
noticed,
doesn't, when you first do that, it doesn't look like bamboo,
hmm
you know, because you do the stalk first and then later you add the connections
hmm
in between the bamboo. And much later you add the leaves or some of them.
now I notice like the bamboo goes from dark on the left and then light. So did you do that in one stroke, or did you then go back into it and
Most
put darker ink?
No, no. These are all one stroke. You don't go into the. If it doesn't work when you first put it down, you start a new paper. You
Hmm.
start all over. So it has to work when you first put it down. You can add to it, but you can't like alter the bamboo stalk, for example.
That's why this is a very difficult skill
Right,
because it's unforgiving.
right,
It's not like acrylic painting you can scrape away and start
right,
anew.
right,
You get
right,
one chance basically.
right, basically. Yeah.
Now, what is the red stamp on this one?
That's a good luck.
It just says good luck.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
And those are your initials on the right
Right.
there,
Yeah.
UT. I love this one. Tell us about this little guy.
This one I did one time out of the blue, and it just turned out to be good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I hadn't planned it that
Mm-hmm.
way, but just from memory, I had seen a dog like that the day before, and I said, "Oh, that would be nice to paint," you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I never thought I could get it down like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it came out good.
Now tell us about the fur. What'd you do
The
first
fur
and then
is,
what'd you
for
do?
example, the fur, some of the fur you see, I used more water. So to make it like, and this, for example,
The
I
black.
used,
Yeah, the black is more watery and the orange is more
it's also more
watery.
watering. And then when it was dry, I went over with a dry brush,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how you got the lines.
Mm-hmm. And this relates really well to anybody who took our watercolor class last week. We were talking about using the paint wet, using it dry, and also
Right,
you're creating texture.
right.
But what's really beautiful, in my opinion, about these Chinese brush paintings that you're doing is that it's also very exacting in terms of you're not going over it and over it and over it. It's a
No,
few strokes gets the point of the
right,
texture of the dog's fur. Or
right,
one stroke, it looks like got the tongue,
right.
right? So that is a difficult thing to do. And that's why you were telling me that sometimes you do the bamboo for, you said how many years, maybe if it was a traditional class?
Oh, quite a long time.
Yeah, before
Yeah,
you move on to the next
right,
step.
right,
So it's very different in the traditional way of teaching.
right.
It's very different than when you go to a Western art school, a contemporary art school, where you
Right,
kind of jump right in. This is really more, you don't move on to the next step until you master the first technique.
right,
And it's a slower process
right.
for sure.
And the thing is, you can't change it. You can't go over it. For example, when it dries, for example, the fur, if I would try to go over it again with that color, you would see once it dries, you see exactly the lines of the underlying. So you can't fix it.
No,
No.
I think, and I love this one of the roosters. Tell us
Yeah.
about this one.
Well, that I did kind of very quickly. I probably had an image in my head. And so that's what I did. The two one rooster and one chicken.
Okay. And
It's a couple.
Oh, okay. And it shows a lot of the techniques. Some of it is more watery. It shows down below those plants, which is so elegant. It looks like you used a thin brush
Right,
and
right,
you didn't put as much water, so you could get it darker. Is that right?
right. Also, the face, the beak and everything, you have to wait until the rest of it dries, and then you put in the beak
Yeah,
and
otherwise
the
it would just
eyes.
bleed.
Right, right.
Now, Ursula is going to show us in real time today. She's going to demonstrate, and we're going to start with going over some of the supplies here. So she has the supplies with her, but to make your life easy, I wrote a list of these supplies. So maybe you could just, without explaining, just read the list, and then she'll show you in real time what these supplies are.
There are lotus dish, which has different compartments. If you just paint with ink, so you can make lighter black or from very light gray to
Well,
very
yeah,
dark,
and you'll
dark.
show us
Yeah.
that. Okay.
And the brushes, well, they all have names too, but I don't remember all the names of these brushes. And they're different than Western brushes because the beginning, the inside is thicker than the outside. And that is for it can hold the water more, which you need sometimes when you're painting, you know. And also you you don't use them like a pen. You hold the brush.
Well,
Can I
you'll
show
show it.
that?
No, because
Oh,
you'll show it
okay.
later then.
Yeah. I show you later how you hold the brush. You don't hold it. And your arm should be an extension of your
Okay,
brush.
yeah, that you'll
Yeah.
show later. This is just sort of an
Right,
overview here.
right.
The type of paper. Where do you get the rice paper?
The rice paper, it's not, people think it's made from rice, but it's made from tree pulp, you know. And it absorbs uh, the water and the colors and everything. That's why you can't change it. You know, once it's on the paper, if it didn't come out, you start new. And that's why you have rolls of paper. So you can use, sometimes you paint a difficult subject, so you use a lot of paper until you get it right.
Yeah, and Ursula also has with her what's called practice paper, which she's going to show us. It's an inexpensive paper, which is used to literally practice.
Right.
So let's get started here. So now you could show
Can
the
you
brush.
see how I'm holding
Yeah,
like chopsticks? That's how you hold the brush between.
Can you show this side? Just, yeah.
Like this, can you see it?
Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
And your arm, you know, like I said before, it should be an extension of your brush. It should be very loose and not lean on the table or on the paper. Very
And
loose.
you stand when you paint.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Otherwise, if you're sitting down, you can't be free. You know?
Okay. And do you extend your arm?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. It
You
varies.
have to. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So here we go. So what are you going to show us first?
I'm gonna show you the bamboo stalks. Oh. Let me put that up.
Yeah, put it here so everybody could see also. Oh, sorry, Ursula. Now this is the lotus dish.
Yeah. Can you see the lotus dish? Okay. See how I'm thinning down the paint?
And do you put more water in each compartment so it's sort of ready to go?
Yes, yes.
That's India ink, is that right?
It's Chinese ink. I buy it in Chinatown.
It's similar to India ink, but it's specifically made for Chinese brush painting.
Okay.
Good question.
So for this particular,
Put it under here.
for the bamboo, you hold it this way. Can you see? Can everybody see this? How
Yes.
I'm holding the brush? And
You want me to hold this? If you put this here?
no. Okay. You can also start on the top, but I always start on the bottom. And you practically in the same direction as the paper, so you go up.
That's really beautiful. That's amazing. That's beautiful. Now you made it look so easy, but it's
Yeah,
not so
but-
easy.
But because that depends of how much ink you have on your brush.
Yeah, I see. And also what I'm looking, if you don't, it's also, you're just only putting pressure on the tip and not the.
Right.
It
No.
looks easy.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Go ahead.
Because it's not like Western painting. You don't fill everything in, So now I'm trying to make a smaller one. So I'm just using the tip of the brush. It's a small one. Later, you put these connections in between the, how do you say? I don't know.
Stalks.
Yeah, in between here. If I do it now, I just show you what happens if I do it now, because it's still wet. It'll run into the, maybe not.
Well, but generally it would run, yeah.
Yeah.
Except you have some space there.
And they should be darker.
That's really beautiful, Ursula. That's really
Let's
beautiful.
make another stalk. Oh, I should have a piece of paper.
What do you mean? This?
Yeah, right. But when I first started, we did this hundreds of times. Just the stalk of the bamboo.
And Ursula, I got a question. Do you mind if I ask you a question?
No.
Now, what made you attracted to this technique?
I don't know. I thought it was intriguing.
Because it does
It
take
was
patience.
different.
Yeah.
That's what I liked.
Did you find that this is calming for you or is it frustrating?
Yeah, no, it's very calming. And also, I wanted to do something different. Everybody did watercolors and and it gets too much. So and I really liked from the very beginning. I didn't know what it entailed for me, I didn't know what it was going to be like, but from the very beginning, I really liked it. Yeah. So I'm making another stalk, a bigger one. What you do, you press and go up and let go. Press and go up, press, go up, press, go up. Because the bamboo, it doesn't grow, not all the stalks look the same, some are lighter, some are darker. So that's what you have to do to make it look that way.
Why do you put felt under the paper?
Because to absorb because the color, the water goes right through the paper, because the paper's too thin.
Is the paper very thin or is it?
Yes.
Carolyn, this she's using an inexpensive, what's called a practice paper.
Yeah.
So it's not the rice paper itself.
Okay, all right. That's why I was wondering. Yeah, okay, that's good. Sorry.
Yeah,
But
No
you
problem.
you can
no
use
problem.
this very easily. You don't nobody will know that you use practice paper if you make a painting with this paper.
And this comes in rolls.
Right. It comes in rolls. You see now, I'm already filled this one up. So
Do you sort of use the tip and the side kind of as you drag it up? Kind of.
Yeah, I demonstrated on the next page.
Okay, thank you.
But look how beautiful that is.
Yeah, beautiful.
Nice.
Beautiful. And it's really like, it's just a few strokes. That's what's amazing about it, in my opinion. Because I am a control freak. I like to go over and over things, so I have a hard time with this.
But you really don't, you don't go over this one, for example, except you have to put in the connections, you know.
Mhm.
But other than that, the stalk itself, you don't touch,
Mhm.
you know. Okay, as you can see, I'm holding the diagonal. Is that what it is? Diagonal?
No, but parallel.
Parallel to the paper, okay? And I'm starting again. You go up and then you press. Press at the end. Press. And you get really beautiful variations of the stalk, and it does look like a bamboo stalk.
Yeah, it's
right?
beautiful.
I mean, I enjoyed doing this from the very beginning. When I first tried it. So I make a little, and now you could use another brush, but I usually start out with one brush and I keep it. See, it's how much you actually use off the tip. Oh, how much you actually use off the tip of the brush. I've used like half of it, and then I use the whole side,
Mhm.
and that's how you get a different thickness of the bamboo.
Mhm. Yeah. Now, would you say that even if one is not doing ultimately Chinese brush painting, this certainly would make people very sensitive to what a paintbrush can do?
Right.
Yeah.
But you couldn't do this on regular paper.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't.
Okay.
Because the normal watercolor paper doesn't absorb the ink or whatever you're using, like this paper does,
Mm-hmm.
you know. It's more.
Ursula, when this dries, does the darkness or lightness change?
No, it doesn't change. As you can see, I make a little hook here.
Mm.
And for example, it can run a little bit, but it should be not running into the regular bamboo stalk too much,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
It's really beautiful. All right, let's take a look at this one. Questions, anyone? Okay. Any other techniques you can show us?
For example, that's the other thing. The paper, you don't cut it or anything. You take a clean brush and put it in the water. Yeah, so
Wait, that's dirty, that water. You want that dirty water?
it doesn't matter because it's just very. See what I do?
Oh, wait. Do it again, Ursula.
You go, not cut it, you rip it after you let it.
Mm. So it shows the paper is really thin.
Yeah, yeah.
And then Ursula has these paper weights, which you can use a stone or anything.
Right. You can use anything for that.
So you can
You-
buy this paper in a roll somewhere?
Yeah,
Yes.
where do you buy the paper?
There is a, I used to buy everything in Chinatown
Mm-hmm.
and the bookstore, if you know New York. Do you
I
know
mean,
New York?
Queens, I can go to Flushing.
Elizabeth. Yeah, but they have a lot of, I don't know any store there because I've never been there. I always go to Chinatown.
Oh,
And
okay.
it's on Elizabeth Street,
Mm-hmm.
one of the first streets after Third Avenue. or Second Avenue.
Okay, but
And
yeah, the idea is, so what is if you looked up to get it online, if you Googled practice paper for Chinese,
I haven't, yeah.
yeah,
Or
okay.
you just look Chinese
Brush-
supplies.
Chinese brush painting
Yeah,
supplies.
right,
Okay.
right. Yeah.
Okay, so what are you gonna do now?
Okay, I can
Let's put these
can
weights
try
down.
to do some leaves.
There we go.
Actually, where's one of my, of course, if I
What do you
try to
need?
do one of these, the painting. The leaves are a little tricky.
Should we put this on?
Yeah. Like I told you, when I first learned how to do brush painting, we did 2 hours of just stalks. And to study brush painting in China, you have to watch the master for 2 years. This kind of painting, it goes back to the 14th century, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So let me do some leaves. The leaves are a little tricky. See? And they usually come in threes or twos. See what I'm doing? They're coming out of the paper.
Did you study with someone in New York, or where did you study?
Yeah. I studied with, of course, I don't remember the name of the first teacher. He was Chinese, he didn't speak English, and I had a translator. But then I studied for many years at the China Institute. San Suk Septen, she's Korean, and I studied a lot with her. And then
Nice.
for 10 years, I would go up to Nyack and study with an American woman, but she was a master, you know. Unfortunately, she died. So I've been all over taking classes with a lot of different teachers.
It's great. It's great. It's wonderful.
And I'm just over, I haven't done any, I should do some leaves.
Do you see how she's doing this? It looks like you're putting more pressure at first, and then you're
Yeah.
picking it up a little
Yeah,
bit.
right. Actually, I make the mistake of doing them too much like this, but you should really do them very slow.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Why should you do
I
it?
don't know, because they come out better when you do them slow. And you don't have to see the actual connections. You know, they don't like in Western painting. We want to do anything traditional, and like the flower has to be right on the stalk and this kind of thing. This doesn't work that way. And then you can do a lot of things with this. You can put some a little branch of the bamboo. And then you put the leaves on it. And go over it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be.
It's beautiful.
So that's
Now-
the bamboo.
Now, what about in one of your paintings, you had this prickly little ball. How'd you do that?
Prickly little ball. I don't know.
It looked like it was like a circle with little prickly things coming out. Could you give us, what I'm getting at is, could you give us an example? How would you apply a dry brush to something?
Well, this dry brush. You go into your ink, and then you try it on the paper. course, it will run on the
So
paper.
you're getting rid of the excess water?
Yeah. This is good. But you see, if you have any other paper, it just doesn't work the same as with the rice paper,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And then you can do a lot of little things, you know, like a little bird.
Can you do it on this paper? Ursula?
Yeah, sure, I can do that.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to be annoying. Beautiful. Beautiful.
For example, you make a little bird, you just do this.
It's really beautiful. I like the bird. That's really good. That's really good. Very
Right.
nice. The best and only way to really learn is by doing it trial and error. You'll see intuitively how much water you have to
For
put.
example, this,
Are you using paint now?
Yes.
yeah, I'm using pink,
Watercolor.
yeah, watercolor. And this is what this is, transparent magenta. And there again, it depends how you want it. If you want it darker or lighter, for example, you get this effect. Can you see this?
Mm-hmm.
And they don't necessarily have to connect, you know. Like usually when we do watercolors, you know, the flowers, they have to connect in the middle or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They don't necessarily have to connect.
Could you do the first petal again? The shading, the value is so great, dark and then light.
This
Yes,
one.
yes, yes. How do you do that? How do you get your brush to do that?
The thing is, you just dip the tip into the color.
Oh.
So you have less water in the middle of the brush. See?
Mm.
Can you see it?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yes. Very beautiful.
It is beautiful. It's relaxing just watching it also.
You're
Right.
using the same size brush, though. You haven't changed the size brush at all.
No, I have a lot of brushes, but I end up using the same brush all the time.
Okay, everybody, I am going to give it a try. So I have no idea if I
You
can
want
do
to get
this.
a new piece of paper?
Sure, if you want me to.
Take that.
Didn't you
Does,
have?
does the watercolor react differently on that paper? It gets more absorbed or no?
Does it react? In which way? I don't understand that.
What do you mean? Does it
Like,
react? More than
no,
what?
because the paper is thinner than like a watercolor paper. Does the
It's not newsprint. Is it newsprint? Is it newsprint?
no, it's
No.
not, but it's thinner, I think, than watercolor and different texture.
Oh, definitely.
This is very thin and it's smooth. It's not a grainy paper. It's not completely smooth, but it's pretty smooth. So I'm gonna see if I could try the flower first. Then can I try the bamboo?
Yeah, sure. That's too much water.
I already
Yeah.
see.
So,
I'm not
yeah.
not good at following instructions, so I'll see. I
So
usually
the watercolor would kind of slide on that paper rather than getting like if using a watercolor paper.
Okay, wait, hang on.
Between
She
like
said I'm holding it the wrong way.
like
So
chopstick.
where would I put
Between
it?
the two fingers.
Like this?
Yeah, right.
Like that? Oh, like that? Oh, that's very different. Oh, okay. See, okay, so it's like this. You
Yeah,
see this? It's really different than the way I would normally hold a pencil or a
right,
brush.
right.
Very different, but you get a little more sense of control. So let me give it a shot.
Perfect.
It's
Very good.
very, actually this,
Joyce, you're pushing too hard. She's doing it a lot lighter and in different varies. She's dark on the outside and light on the inside.
yeah, well,
Like this is not bad, you know.
yeah,
See this
well,
effect?
it's my
Yeah,
first time.
yeah.
So let's
Yeah, it's
see.
great. It's great.
Let's see
It's
if I
great.
could try it. And also, I'm going to be honest with you. I am normally, I don't do a lot of watercolor and stuff because I like to go over my painting and over it. So this is out of my comfort zone. So can I try the bamboo?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, this is probably going to be,
Start it here.
okay, let's see. Okay, so here
And
it
then
is.
I always have a piece of paper,
Sublime.
and that way I can test how much water I have on the press. That's too much.
A lot of, okay.
Yeah,
See over here how much ink there was. So I'm going to just put a lot of water in there.
yeah.
Okay, let's see. So I'm going to press
Hold
more
it
on the end.
almost vertical to the paper,
Not as
and not
Yeah,
so
that's it. That's it. You got it.
it's working out.
definitely, she makes it look easy.
You got it. You're doing it.
Go on to the
I'm
next.
getting better.
Go on to the next one. Stop.
Yeah, you're getting it. Yeah.
Okay. And now I'll do my little lines. Huh. Some leaves. Oh, see, I messed up on
The
that.
leaves are difficult.
The leaves are, that's harder. You see over here, the leaves are harder than what it looks. Okay, I'll give it another try. I'm going to put more water this time.
But not too much.
Oh,
Yeah,
That's great. That's great.
yeah,
oh yeah.
yeah,
Okay, that one I messed up.
yeah. And remember that when you start out and then you slowly lift up the brush towards the end. Wow.
Because I'm not holding it right. I don't have control.
Yeah, you're not holding it right.
Not as easy as it looks, like all things. Okay, everybody, we'll have a few minutes for questions.
Brush was Ursula using, and Joyce, did you use the same size or a different size?
Well, I've been only using two brushes, and they're basically the same size. But I have to also explain to you about the brushes. They hold the water in the middle,
higher, Ursula.
like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is full of water, and that's how you also control your painting. How much water you have in there, you know. And it should be an extension of your arm. You can't really paint sitting down, like leaning on the table or something. That's no good. Your arm has to be totally loose. Okay.
Now, what about a brush like this?
That is really for calligraphy.
And is this also,
But I bought it because I love it.
and if you did a really large painting?
Right, right.
Obviously, if you did a large painting, you would have larger brushes, except for details. Now, you talk to us a little bit about when there is calligraphy, along with the image in a Chinese brush painting. What is that? Why is there calligraphy often on the
But
side?
it could be a poem that is done by the artist himself, or many times he has a friend write a poem there next to his painting. So it's not necessarily from him. And
That's interesting. That's great. That's
yeah.
Also, I don't know much about Chinese brush painting, but even,
See how I'm
recent,
holding this?
yeah, hold it up a little bit. Yeah.
Can you see it?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like chopsticks, like
Yeah.
the old chopsticks.
Yeah, you got more control.
Right.
But what I was going to say about the Chinese brush painting is even though it is traditional, there's also an element of play and expression.
Right.
Because even historically, the Chinese brush painters, going back into the 1500s, they were also sometimes changing the tradition in subtle ways. So maybe being more playful or being more expressive. And today, when I went to China, some of the contemporary painters, they still do Chinese brush painting.
Yeah.
But they also make it their own. So it's not like there's only one style of Chinese brush painting.
No.
So you can go very obviously deep into this subject. So any other questions for Ursula?
But there are certain rules in brush painting.
So what are some of the rules?
The rules are you have to be free. That's what I already said, You can't sit there and like go tick, 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 tick. That's not gonna work.
You're not coloring it.
It has to be free flowing when you paint.
And in that sense, there's a link to Jackson Pollock.
Yeah.
Because when you look at Pollock's work and you see his drips, it's completely different. He's not imitating nature in any way in his drip paintings, but he's using his whole body. And as he's making those marks flowing with the drips, in a sense, it links to calligraphy, where you get one chance to do that drip. It's one chance.
Yeah.
And you mastered the technique to such a degree that when you do that one stroke or you do that one drip, you're one with the painting because you've mastered the technique. Then you can also be free to create.
Yes.
In China today, there is a very strong interest in Pollock. And also there's a whole movement of abstract expressionism in China.
Yes.
It's really, really popular. There are amazing abstract expressionist painters.
Just a comment about holding the brush like a chopstick is really like against everything I've been taught my whole life. Like I was just trying to play with the pencil doing it. And like it takes so much concentration. So I think that would go along with doing it slowly. You said for the leaves, does that work for the bamboo too? Like working slowly as opposed to rushing it.
You can make slow strokes and you get a good effect. But it's also skill, what you put into that. It's not just a stroke. You really have to practice it.
Yeah.
So for like 2 years, practice that for 2 years.
I'm reading a book right now called Why Art Can't Be Taught. And it goes over the history of art education. And, historically, for example, in Europe, let's say in the Middle Ages or the Renaissance, an artist would have to only copy engraving.
The master.
They'd copy that for years. Then they would move on to drawing a cast. Then they would move on to drawing the live model. It's very, very different than the way we think in contemporary culture, right? In contemporary Western culture, everything is really fast, right?
Yeah,
like jump right in, try it out.
You wanna do it fast, but nothing you can learn fast.
And so this is more traditional, where you learn this technique,
Right.
and then you go on to the next thing.
Right.
We don't do typically in our classes. I tell you, just jump right in, because I'm teaching you modern and contemporary ways of thinking, right?
Right.
But I think also, all this being said, these techniques, even if you're not going to ultimately do Chinese brush painting, if you're going to do watercolor, if you're going to do abstract painting, even with acrylic, or you could do pen and ink, right? It doesn't have to be Chinese brush painting. You could do a portrait with pen and ink.
Right.
It's going to help you become more sensitive to how to handle a paintbrush.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's absolutely
And
true.
like you were saying, Ursula, the variables, how fast do you go? How slow do you go? How much water do you put on? How much pigment do you put on? How much pressure do you put? All of these variables are
And
going to
they
change the
they
mark.
play a big role.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is also back to Pollock. This is how he was a master of drip painting,
Mhm.
because he knew intuitively, if I go fast with it, it's going to make one kind of line, right? If I go close to the paper, it's going to make another line. If I hold the stick up here, if I put a lot of gooey paint on there, all these variables he kind of intuitively understood, similar to what you're doing with the Chinese brush painting, but also very different. But now I want to give my biggest thank you to Ursula, who took the time to come over today, bring all these supplies and explain all this. And I found it very relaxing. So thank you, Ursula, on
You're
this
welcome.
snowy, Arctic, snowy day.
Thank you
So
so much. Yeah,
I
very
hope it was
nice.
helpful,
Thank
everybody.
you.
So
I hope
yeah.
you learned a little something from this.
And that it makes you want to learn more.